Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Today we're going to start wrenching on this Ariens. We're not at a standstill because we're still waiting for the frictionist, but I can still do plenty of other things. Problem is time between working and other projects I have going on. That's just life. But my goal is to get this thing done by the end of the week. Today we're just going to do some simple stuff. We're going to convert the machine. We're going to start the tune-up. We're going to do a royal purple synthetic oil change. I'm going to hold off on greasing the machine because we still have to replace the friction disc and has yet to come in the mail. I also plan on, because we're running out of daylight too as well, because it gets early, it's getting darker earlier, I'm going to show you guys how you take care of a loose starter on your Tecumseh engine. Very, very common issue, so it's really not a big deal, just some simple hardware, and that issue is good to go. So let's get it over to the lip of the garage and we'll get this thing going. So as you guys see, I'm rolling it up to my infamous lip in the garage, and if you guys remember, I tubed the tire. It's still holding. Thanks, Henry Mowers and Blowers, for motivating me to start taking on tubing tires again. This is my first successful tube tire ever. So anyway, I had this machine running for about 10-15 minutes. Ran fantastic. Not bad for sitting for probably about maybe close to a week. I've been able to touch it, but I have my vice grips on the machine as some preventative. So I have my vice grips on here as permanent measure because I just have that gut feeling, no matter what, the whole pipe is going to twist out, which we won't need that to happen. So I'm just going to hold it and twist it. That's it. Here comes the oil. Yeah, the thing is, this thing's been sitting for quite some time, if you guys remember. So the oil kind of looks a little light. I would assume would be moisture. Definitely not, fuel. No fuel. I'm just going to let this drain out real good because we're going to put the good stuff in here. See, I opened up the dipstick tube. Got like another second wind of oil to come out. Now while this drains, sometimes, right, I know in Craftsman snowblowers, if you look up the model number, it'll give you your engine as well. Ariens does not do that, but that is no big deal, because here is your sticker right here. This Tecumseh is an HMSK80. So that is what you would use for all your parts. Carb, coil, valves that my buddy had to order for this thing. And we are good to go. Nothing to do with the snowblower. So we're going to let this drain out real good, and we'll get back to some royal purple. Alright, so it's dark out. I moved you guys to the garage. But as you guys see, the reason why it's so dark is I actually decided to polish this so it's nice and shiny. And I've never done this before. I threw a coat of clear on it and I let it dry. So we're going to see how this holds up over the next couple of days. So we'll go back up here. So it's an HMSK80, right? And we have this really cool sheet that my wife made. Well, I printed it out and she laminated it. And if you happen to do small engine work, I would do the same thing. So you have to keep going over your phone. Has everything for Tecumseh engines. An HMSK80 takes 26 ounces of oil. Alright, so as usual, 5W30 royal purple synthetic. Okay. And it's 26 ounces. Now this cup reads up to 24. So I'm just going to go up to 20, refill it to 6, and then we're past our noise restriction. So I won't be able to check this till tomorrow. Technically I can, you know, if I just dry fire the machine, you know, just pull on it a couple of times, and we could check the level, but I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. Now you have to be very, very careful with TECUMSEHs. TECUMSEHs do not, let me repeat this, do not like low oil levels. Even just a little bit. Because you know what happens? You get to see the rod go right through the side of the block. It's going to say peekaboo due to lack of oil. So, we're going to pour this sucker in. Some royal purple goodness. Now, obviously there's some still left in here, but we will compensate for that. You know, like I said, tomorrow, hopefully if I get off at a decent time again, I could check the oil. And believe it or not, my friction disc just came in the mail, so I guess it works out good working late, per se. I might empty out the garage, because remember my goal is to have the snowblower done. I might just empty out the garage. Not a lot of noise involved in changing a friction disc. Hopefully not, you know, and I'll bang out the friction disc tonight, and we'll see. We'll see. Look at my garage. I really need to, usually around snowblower season, I start to empty out the garage. You know, it starts getting colder out, so I could work inside the garage. Obviously, I can't work, so I gotta do something about that. Alright, so now, I'm going to tackle the loose starter. And remember, we'll check the oil tomorrow. But, in order to do that, we have to remove the fuel tank. So that is going to be these 3 bolts right here. Now I also disconnected the fuel line as well, so the tank will just come right off. You could drop the whole tank, right? Just these 2 bolts here, hopefully. You don't have to touch the mounting bracket underneath. Hopefully we could just slide this out. It's funny, remember I told you it has the thing for the weight kit? That's where I'm putting my bolts, where the weight kit is supposed to go. See? Alright, so the tank just pops right out. Pull it forward. Okay. Here's our starter. Let's remove this plate that holds the fuel tank as well. If you guys can see that, I'm going to bring you down. This one right here. That one's going to go. Okay. So we'll put the 3/8 there because we know we're going to need that. This should be the next size up. This should be 1/2 inch. And that is. So let's break that loose. Now it's funny, you guys see me not using tools. I don't want to make noise with my electric tools. For some reason, all of a sudden my neighbors have very good hearing at a certain time in that. It's odd. Actually, I'm going to paint this. I'm going to put it on tomorrow. Okay, now we have access to our starter. Alright, so somebody messed with this a little bit, and that's okay. They think that they could try and fix the issue, but they were very wrong. So, sometimes when you do stuff like this, you open up Pandora's box, but we like positive thoughts and positive thinking. We will think that we will not be opening up Pandora's box on this. We hope. So, I'm just trying to gauge what size this is. Okay, so the top bolts are a T27, and the bottom bolts should be, right? They should be nut, and they should be a hard nut per se, not a Torx. and they're not. Somebody messed with them and put something else in there. But look, to see how the starter is loose? That has nothing to do with the bolts backing out sometimes. What happens is, you'll see when I pull the starter off, you're going to see just the vibration of the engine itself. It just wears out. So these broke off nice and easy, which I'm hoping so, because that means somebody else was in here. Right? And that's it. And they come right out. And I'll show you what I like to do. There, this is out, and this is out, and then we're going to take these out completely and explain to you also why the system is flawed. Once we get this all out, we should be back to I'm going to push this up. Sorry, so there's 7/16. So we'll get these 7/16. You guys can't see, but the bottom bolts are 7/16. We're just going to crack these out. Use your mechanical instinct. Right. This is also another way, if you need to replace your starter or replace your gear, you could actually replace the gear on here. And obviously you see the fuel line too. We're going to put a new fuel line on here. See, they put the wrong, I'm not saying the wrong one, but it's a different, not see, everything's a different size. I'll show you what it should be and what they have on here. Actually, let's lift the starter. Can we lift this out of the way? Okay, see that? Look. This is what they had in there. And this is what it should be. Regular bolt. Not a factory bolt. These are the top screws. They're Torx. And if you see, they stop past a certain point and you go into this cone shape. Now, let's look at the starter. It's actually in pretty good shape. And the cool part is, you could actually replace this gear if you ever needed to. But we don't have to on this machine. So I don't have to explain that to you and how to go about that. But anyway, we'll put the starter up here. Oh no, let me explain to you what happened. You see this? Obviously this piece broke off a little bit. But you see how it's nice and wide? It wears over time. The vibration of the machine will do that to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch out these bolts, right? And we're going to put washers behind them. Now if you didn't want to, right, if you want to use your existing hardware, the top would be a little difficult. You're going to have to drill out the washers to fit this, but we're not. Because we're going to reuse new hardware. So let me get new hardware. This is what I'm talking about. You see this? See how this has a shoulder? This will not fit this opening. So you would need to open that up. And you could reuse this. But instead, we're just going to go with brand new hardware. factory spec. I just want to make sure. Oh, look good. This one looks a little funky. Alright, and then the most important part is we're going to washer it in. So we're good to go. So let's do that. Now, because we're doing a metal, 2 different metals, remember, because the block is aluminum and these bolts are steel, you know, per se. So we're going to like an anti-seize on there. So we will put this back in there, and it's always easier when you do these because the bottom is fixed. You really don't even have to do the top, but I like uniformity, so I do all 4 because I have OCD issues like that. I'm going to slide the starter in, and we're just going to start the bottom. Now remember, it's very important to start this by hand. Please. Please. You dropped it. Because remember, this block is made of aluminum. This will strip out. Very easy. But it's also very easy to tap too. But let's not get to that. We don't want to do that. Right? A simple task. There's no need to be made this complicated. Just the mix. It's funny, we just have to get these lined up. Okay, that's the bottom. Alright, so now the bottom started by hand, we hope. And we're just going to start snugging them up. I should be using 1/4 inch drive, but I'm using 1/2 inch. I mean 3/8. It's a little tight. See how it's nice and snug already? I didn't even snug these bolts down. Just the bottom. And they're already nice and tight. A little bit of goop. And we could start these by hand. And like I said, there's nothing you could do. It's just the way it is. Remember, this engine, right, is just slapped right on top of this frame. There are no rubber cushions or motor mounts. You know what I mean? And they're just, it's going to shake. And you know, vibration is the culprit of many things that fall apart. But it's an Ariens, so got some durability in this thing. It's a well-built machine, so I wouldn't worry about it. I'm just starting that top bolt. Let's tuck this out of the way. Come on. Just find the hole. Yep, we're in there. And see how I'm using 1/4" sockets now? Per se, 1/4" drive sockets. Still a 7/16. Just snug, nice and snug, 1/4" turn. That's it. Like I said, you don't want to strip out this aluminum block, so you just kind of have to go by hand. See that? It's nice and tight. I'm just going around snugging everything up. I'm trying. That's that. Alright guys, we're going to call it wraps because we're in my garage. I don't think the lighting is the greatest. So, just got to keep pushing forward because we got to make progress on this machine. Get this out of the way and we can work on the next project, because I need to start clearing room out of the garage so I can work inside here because it is getting darker earlier. Alright guys, so if you guys found this video helpful, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and guess what, man? I'll see you guys on the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance. We will start diving into, probably we're going to replace the fuel lines because we're here, and definitely going to do that friction disc. Alright?